Day 3 of World War II, September 3rd, 1939, was a pivotal moment as Britain and France officially declared war on Nazi Germany, marking the full-scale outbreak of the war. Here are the key events from that day. Britain declares war on Germany. At 11:15 a.m. British time on September 3rd, 1939, British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain addressed the nation via radio, announcing that Britain was at war with Germany. He explained that Britain had given Germany an ultimatum to withdraw from Poland, which had expired without compliance. In his speech, Chamberlain famously said, "I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received, and consequently this country is at war with Germany." Britain's declaration of war was the result of its commitment to Poland after signing a mutual defence pact in August 1939. The British decision signalled the end of the policy of appeasement that had allowed Hitler to expand Germany's territory without military resistance. France declares war on Germany. Following Britain's lead, France also declared war on Germany later that day. At 5 p.m, French Prime Minister Édouard Daladier announced that France would honour its treaty obligations to Poland and join the war against Germany. Despite the declaration of war, France did not immediately launch a large-scale offensive. The French military had been preparing for a defensive strategy, fortifying the Maginot Line, a series of fortifications along the border with Germany, anticipating a protracted war. Australia and New Zealand join the war. Shortly after Britain declared war, the British Commonwealth nations of Australia and New Zealand followed suit, formally joining the conflict on the side of the Allies. This marked the beginning of the global nature of World War II, as countries from around the world began to align with the warring factions. Poland continues to resist. In Poland, the battle raged on. German forces continued their blitzkrieg assault, pushing deeper into the country from the west, north and south. The Polish army, though valiant, was struggling against the overwhelming might of the German military, particularly the Luftwaffe, which was bombing Polish cities and infrastructure. Polish forces were retreating in some areas to consolidate defences, but the rapid German advance made coordination difficult. The Phoney War begins. Although Britain and France had declared war on Germany, no major military action took place on the Western Front immediately. This period of inactivity in Western Europe, which would last for several months, became known as the Phoney War or Sitzkrieg, as neither side launched significant attacks. France and Britain began mobilizing their armies, but both nations were hesitant to launch an offensive against Germany, fearing heavy casualties and preferring to fortify their defenses. The war at sea began immediately. On September 3rd, 1939, just hours after Britain declared war, the German submarine U-30 torpedoed and sank the British passenger liner SS Athenia off the coast of Ireland. The sinking resulted in the deaths of 118 civilians, including Americans, which led to tensions between Germany and the neutral United States. The Kriegsmarine, or German Navy, tried to claim the attack was accidental, as Germany wanted to avoid provoking the US early in the war. Despite being aligned with Nazi Germany under the Pact of Steel, Italy remained neutral on day 3 of the war. Italian dictator Benito Mussolini declared Italy's stance as non-belligerent, meaning Italy would not participate in the conflict at this point, though it continued to support Germany diplomatically. The United States, under President Franklin D. Roosevelt, remained neutral but expressed concern over the growing conflict. Roosevelt began preparing the US for possible involvement, though it would not join the war until the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. Other nations, such as the Soviet Union, remained silent. The Soviets had signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact with Nazi Germany just days before the invasion of Poland, which included secret protocols to divide Eastern Europe between the two powers. The Soviet Union would not enter the war until September 17, 1939, when it invaded eastern Poland. Britain and France declared war on Germany, officially marking the start of World War II in Europe. Australia and New Zealand joined the conflict on the side of the Allies. The Phoney War began on the Western Front as Britain and France prepared for conflict but did not immediately engage in large-scale operations. German U-boats initiated attacks on British shipping, sinking the SS Athenia. Poland continued to fight against the German invasion but faced heavy losses as the Blitzkrieg advanced. September 3, 1939, marked the true global escalation of the war, with major European powers now formally at war and the conflict beginning to spread beyond Poland.